Hi guys, what's going on? It's JB here with another episode of the FIFA 18 Burnley career mode. We're coming up towards the end of the series. We're in the last 6 months of the series now, of the season, or final season. And news that Ruben Loftus-Cheek there in that cutscene, as you saw, as we start, is a good way to kick off episode 148. We've signed him there for, as I said, for £11.3 million, which in today's money, today's transfer market, is quite a good deal, a big bargain really for a player of undoubted quality that I think will go far if he's given the right opportunity, certainly in real life. Our 2 matches today, one comes from the league away at Molineux against Wolves, or Ivy Lane to give it its title, although I'm sure Wolves have tweeted about FIFA 19 saying, praising Ivy Lane for what it's done, but we're calling it Molineux. And then we played another Midland side derby in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. So you know it's the turn of the year when the 3rd round of the FA Cup begins. But as I said before that, league action, we go down to the West Midlands where 4th from bottom Wolves take on 2nd from top Clarets. Well, here we are at Molineux. Although it does look like Ivy Lane there, but this is the Wolves side. Dragonaski in goal, Doherty, Mouse, Panic, Bath and Benito, Sayas and Neves, the 2 midfielders, Giovanni Gallagher and Caballero further forward, the likes of Costa and 1 or 2 others on the bench should Wolves need them. Burnley, who are going on a fantastic run in this particular career mode, make this side. Tom Heaton, of course, the captain in goal. Then it's Trippier, me, PK, Robertson across the back. And then it's Gray, Hughes, Davis, Schürrle across the midfield there, with Danny Ings and Mario Balotelli preferred up front. On the bench, you've got the likes of Rooney and Boyan trying to make a big difference there. Stephen Defoe as well starts amongst the substitutes. Big game this for both sides, there's no doubt about that. Graham Scott from Oxford is the referee. Molineux it's quite a windy and wet Molineux, though it says Ivy Lane on the screen. We will refer to it still as Molineux as we get underway. Burnley in claret and blue, the away team, attacking towards the left in the first half, and this is Tom Davis with an early shot and a good save by Dragowski. Turn the ball away, and it was a really good effort this was from young Tom Davis. He smashed it in there, the former Everton player. Really good effort, and Dragowski got everything behind it and more. Trippier forward now for Burnley. Good football again from the Clarets. They do look a very accomplished side. Here's Davis. Oh, he's gone in. May have got a deflection, but Tom Davis will claim it, and Burnley going front after 24 minutes. Took everybody, even this commentator, by absolute surprise. The Burnley fans delighted. Now, did this get a deflection? That's the big question. He's got into that position there. Oh yes, there's a big deflection there, which takes it away from the goalkeeper. Otherwise, I think he gets it, and it comes off the defender there, and it just loops past Strakowski before he can even react to get there, and the goalkeeper has been fooled. Tom Davis, a little bit fortunate perhaps, but still it all counts. 1-0. Balotelli, and he's turned nicely there, good header, and it's good save. It was Danny Ings inside the 6-yard area with a header. Up there though, Balotelli, 2-0. Wolves did not clear their lines properly, and 5 minutes before the break, Burnley doubled their lead. The clearance just didn't get pinched away at the point, and there was poor marking there, as I say, and the ball played in there for Balotelli. He made absolutely no mistake whatsoever. It was a glorious finish beyond Drakowski and into the back of the net. 2-0 to the Clarets, and Wolves in some trouble now, and Balotelli clocks at goal number 11 this season. Well, we're back underway in the second half, and Wolves with it all to do really, and Johan Bakish has been replaced there by young Graham. So see what this young Graham can actually do here for Wolves as Balotelli goes forward, looking to strike goal number 3, and he does so, and a good save again by Drakowski, keeping Wolves in it, who have been threatening with relegation. They got a creditable 2-all, you may remember, at Turf Moor earlier on in the season. Well, they'll need to come from behind now and score 2 goals if they're going to get at least a point from this Wolverhampton, as that corner comes in from Gray into the area. Balotelli off the line. Well, that would have wrapped it up, but here's Graham, practically 1 against 1 now. This is still Graham. He's got Trippier to beat, and he's past Trippier. This could be a big moment at the end of the game. Graham scores for Wolves. He took that so well, picked it up just shy of halfway, then ran and ran and ran. No Burnley player tracked him. He went past Kieran Trippier as if he didn't exist, and then with the right foot unleashed an unbelievable shot, which was just far too good for Tom Heaton. Brilliant effort, and right into the corner, and all of a sudden here, the substitute that came on at half-time has made a real difference, and it's made an impact. It's Wolves 1, Burnley 2 now. And all of a sudden, dare I say it, and I hate to say it from a class perspective, but it's game on. 53 minutes on the clock, second of the season. Well, here comes Saiz now, and he's found Caballero on the far side. Now Neves, quarter of an hour left, and Wolves here with their tails up here looking for this equaliser. And Ennis is through. It's Ennis for Wolves, and what a save that is from Tom Heaton, keeping Burnley in the lead. It was a marvellous save. As Caballero comes off, Costa replaces him, and Stephen Defoe now is going to get a bit of a run out here. Tom Davis, the man he replaces, so like for like, in the central of midfield there, central midfield area there. So a corner kick, Neves to take, and he's come out to Saiz, and he couldn't control it. That was a real dangerous moment there for Burnley. This is Danny Ings now, Balotelli as well to the left, and this is Mario Balotelli. He's got Ings in the middle if he chooses to go now, and Ings plays it across, and good tackle there, needed to be, otherwise that was 3-1. As we see that save again from Tom Heaton, it looked as if Ennis had got himself the equaliser, but Tom Heaton definitely had other ideas. With 10 minutes left of this riveting contest to play. Here comes the corner, headed out, and Ennis will take possession again here for Wolves. And this guy's full of running, and he's away from Defoe. Now then, Ennis down the left hand side. This looks a promising move here for Wolves. Still Ennis pulled back, and a chance here, and Graham had the opportunity, or it wasn't Graham, in fact it was Neves who pulled it wide. Here's Ings. Burnley looking to wrap it up once and for all. There it is. Wolves' brave second half comeback has been thwarted rather by Danny Ings. It's a marvellous individual goal, brilliantly struck with the right foot, and Danny Ings, who loves the art of goal scoring, fires that in, and a couple of nice on-range goals today for Burnley. One admittedly by a deflection, and then that one probably the icing on the cherry on the cake. 3-1, 12 goals this season for Danny Ings, and this man is in red hot form. So with 88 minutes gone, the game is now won for the Clarets, as Costa now runs down the near side. No deflection, it comes to Neves inside the penalty area. Neves still on his feet, and Wolves aren't giving up by any means. And here's Ings now on the break. Oh, lovely skill, and has he got the pace to get away from all these Wolves defenders? Still Danny Ings, he'll have to shoot here, and he almost scores as well. And would have been some goal if that had gone in, but there goes the full-time whistle to end proceedings here at Molineux. Well, it was 2-0 at half-time thanks to goals from Tom Davis, and a deflected long-range effort from Tom Davis and one from Balotelli. Then Graham, the substitute, pulled one back. It looked as if Ennis was going to make it 2-2, but right towards the end, 3 minutes from the end, Danny Ings with a picture-book third goal has sealed an important victory here for the Clarets. Final score at Molineux: Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Burnley 3. And so that's the table after 20 games, all played 20. Burnley top with Everton second, both on 41 points, but a goal difference of plus 23 for Burnley and plus 10 for Everton means that Burnley now lead on goal difference. Chelsea a point or two back in third place. United completing the top four. Arsenal fifth. Liverpool now in 10th place, but it's going to be a battle. Well, Wolves, I said we're having a great start to the season when they are struggling at the moment, so it's going to be it's probably going to be a six-way fight between them. West Brom, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, Leicester, Bournemouth, and possibly Birmingham, although Birmingham are now being drifting away at the bottom of the league. When a couple wins could propel them out of the drop zone, but that's the league now done on this episode because we're taking a well-earned break from that. But there has been some transfer activity. Boyan has been the subject of interest from Atletico Madrid. A fee of 9 million for his services. But we're going to negotiate this because I think we could get more than 24 million for him. So we'll go to the cutscene now, where we meet with the representative of Atletico Madrid. Looks like a corner me, that. So we're going to propose a new transfer fee of around, what, 20? We'll say 25.6 million. And he wants 22 million. Right, now we'll play hardball here. We'll go 24 million dead. And, well, they're going to give it, yes, 24 million pounds is the deal. But it also allows us to get an extra player in ourselves. And also free up some wage budget as well. Boyan wasn't being played, and you've got an unhappy player there. He's done all right for us. He's 29 years old. But I think it's time for him to move on and go our separate ways. But it's now time. We'll obviously confirm when that transfer goes through. But we've got some really good cup ties coming up. Of course, Man City to come up in the next episode of that game. But it's FA Cup time, and here's here's the fixtures that are going to be played in the third round. So Forest and Bury played last night. Bury drew 1-1 with Huddersfield, and Notts Forest drew 0-0 with Barnsley. Today's ties include AFC Wimbledon against Walsall, Arsenal against Watford, Bournemouth against Notts County, Bradford against Swansea City, Bristol City against Burton. Ourselves, you're going to see the game between Burnley and Derby in just a second. Cardiff against Portsmouth, Cheltenham take on Southampton, Crawley play Brighton in a bit of a Sussex derby down there. Everton at home to Brentford. Fleetwood, big game for them up at Highbury against Manchester United. Fulham play Aston Villa at Craven Cottage. Gillingham have got Hull. Leeds have got Ipswich. All Premier League can count two All Premier League ties next up, with first one being Leicester City against Spurs, and the Etihad Manchester City against West Bromwich Albion. Middlesbrough take on Liverpool. The MK Dons go to Norwich. Charlton go away to Newcastle United. Millwall have to go to Oldham. Birmingham away at Oxford. Port Vale against Sheffield United. Reading against Preston. Rotherham United at home to the mighty Chelsea. Sheffield Wednesday against Luton. Shrewsbury against Queen's Park Rangers. Sunderland against Bolton. West Ham against Stoke. Wigan against Crystal Palace. And Wolverhampton Wanderers, that's the next day, play Mansfield Town. And we'll bring you the results of all that one, of all the other ties. But our game, our match is Burnley's first involvement in the FA Cup for our last season of career mode on FIFA 18, as we take on Derby County at Turf Moor. Well, welcome to a wet and rainy Turf Moor this afternoon. The FA Cup third round is back with a bang in our final season of career mode for FIFA 18 and our final crack at the FA Cup. There's Andre Schürrle, the player to watch, 29 years old now, still at the peak of his powers. A couple of debutants as well to watch in this Burnley lineup this afternoon. Burnley making 3 changes from the team that Wolves, shall we say, quite convincingly 3 goals to 1. And that's in midfield, where Ruben Loftus-Cheek, the £11.5 million man, makes his full debut alongside Will Hughes. And a new strike force, Kevin Gamero and Tammy Abraham, Ings and Balotelli to presumably be rested for Manchester City on Wednesday. Still a very good strong lineup, giving Derby all the respect they deserve. League below. This is how the men from Pride Park will line up. A few familiar names there. Scott Carson as well, the goalkeeper, Curtis Davis and Richard Keogh. A decent Championship centre-back, Joe Ledley and Martin as well. Andy Vyman of Aston Villa, really top player. And Jacob Butterfield in the number 10 role behind striker Chris Martin. And the man in charge for this very intriguing but very wet FA Cup third round tie is Simon Hooper. There he is, the referee. And we're all set to go. Going to be Derby in the white shirts and the dark shorts and the white socks to get us away, attacking the goal to our left. Burnley need, I tell you, claret shirts, pale blue shorts and pale blues and the light blue socks. Loftus-Cheek getting his push touch in claret and blue for Burnley. This is Tammy Abraham. Will Hughes straight away, now Butterfield, now Chris Martin, Andy Vyman, so much experience in the leagues, played at Premier League level for Aston Villa many times. This is Lawrence, Butterfield, Martin, Loftus-Cheek in the way, but the ball breaks to Johnson and it breaks to Tom Lawrence. What a save from Heaton. Well, one Tom denied another. Lawrence through, that's Tom Lawrence, and the other Tom, that's Tom Heaton, making the save. 7 and a bit minutes gone here in the third round of the FA Cup, and it's Lawrence to take. Towards Ledley, but Heaton is there. Gets on with it straight away, and it was a little bit risque. Kevin Gamero. We turned nicely there. This is Damari Gray. Hughes starts a break on the right. Pirouettes nicely there. Abraham! Good save from Scott Carson. Good position. Took the ball cleanly. Johnson. Wyman. Shelley doing well. Almost finding Gray that through ball. Butterfield. Now Joe Ledley. Oh, he's away from Will Hughes, the former Derby man. And Chris Martin's still in a march here. And the ball back in. Look at Shelley defending like his life depended on it. Really good defending. And now it's sort of an end-to-end cup tie. This is how the FA Cup should be played. And here's Gray. Oh, just the cross lacked a little bit of conviction. Otherwise that might have been an opportunity for 1-0, but it's Chris Martin at the other end. This is a good cup tie, this. PK, good stop there to deny Butterfield from going any further forward. Straight to Tom Lawrence, who's had the best chance of the match. Johnson. Now Kevin Gamero. Damari Gray getting there. And Shoei was fouled there by Joe Ledley, and he's absolutely annoyed. Stutzy absolutely annoyed down on the bench there. Harry Rowett is the manager. I know in real life. It's at the time of recording, it's Frank Lampard. That's a different season. And it is Gary Rowett's team who have dominated the proceedings. Hughes. Abraham to Trippier. Up to Sheet lurking. He can't go further. Well, Burnley are playing a very well organised team here. Bradley Johnson. Chris Martin. Good tackle there by Ben Mee. Did really well. Gray. Hughes. Loftus-Cheek. Tammy Abraham. Good ball. Oh, Gray left it. But here's Gamero. He's got it in well. Knocked out. Loftus-Cheek. That was a tremendous effort from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. and just blazed over the top in the end and behind for a goal kick. Scott Carson. Will Hughes. Abraham. Romero making the break. Oh, just too strong a ball. It was far too casual. Andy Wyman. It's a throw. Still 0-0. Butterfield. Wyman. Back to Butterfield once again. And back to Joe Ledley. Butterfield across. And Tom Eaton having to be required to make the save. Last minute of the first half. And this is a real intriguing cup tie. And Derby are making it so difficult. Martin. And here's Tom Lawrence. And there goes the half-time whistle. You couldn't hear it amongst the crowd. A Turf Moor from Simon Hooper, but Burnley are being made to work hard here. Derby proving more than a match for this Burnley side, who are being held at the break. Half time here at Turf Moor. It's Burnley 0, Derby County 0. Welcome back to Turf Moor. No goalless as we get underway. As Tamara Gray springs forward now for Burnley. No goals. Very much a stalemate, but it's been a cracking cup tie despite no goals being scored. Incidentally, if it was end a draw, it would be a replay at Pride Park in a week and a half's time. A game that Burnley could well do without. And it's not been enterprising in the final third. It has to be said. Wyman. PK. Abraham has got Gamero making a break. But Curtis Davis did well. Read the situation remarkably well. Butterfield. Stopped by PK. Loftus Cheek. Now then, Abraham. Real opportunity here to test his pace. Keogh behind him. Abraham. Angle was tight. Derby making the first substitution. It's the experienced Tom Huddleston that's been there, done it. Played in the Champions League in his days at Tottenham. To a fact, he came through the ranks at Derby County many years ago. Huddleston gets his first touch. Finds Martin. PK stops him. And then Martin stops him. Trippier. Loftus Cheek. The bunching up along, closing down a lot there, Derby, which is a testament to how well they've been well organised tactically. It's an excellent challenge. This is Charlotte. Again, too casual with these balls here, Burnley. The fans don't like it at all. But again, good discipline defending there by Gerard Piqué. Loftus Cheek. And he'll hit it. But tamely, Scott Carson down. It's a good save. One I expected to make. We'll cup tie action in the next episode at Turf Moor as Burnley entertain Manchester City in the first leg of the Carabao semi. This is Wyman. Flag was up for offside. Burnley about to make their first substitution just after the 71-minute mark. Tamari Gray surely being saved up for Wednesday night. Tom Davis, the busy little player himself, comes on. Robertson. Hughes. Davis. Playing out on the right hand side now. Hughes couldn't dig it out. He's had a frustrating day against his old employers here, Will Hughes. Wisdom. Kleiman. Abraham in there strongly. Looking for support. Shell's the man that's provided it. Oof. Just for a moment he thought he was going to be through to Kevin Gamero. And the pace has just slowed down dramatically in the second half as we go into the closing stages. The last 10 minutes. It's been an intriguing watch. Loftus-Cheek. Schürrle. On his right foot. And punched away by Carson. Derby about to make another change. Max Lowe and Bradley Johnson off. Craig Forsyth and Jamie Hansen on. Back to corner. Davis. PK. Cleared. Martin. 1 against 1. And he's beaten Trippier. Oh, this could be a real problem here for Burnley. They've overcommitted. And Heaton comes out and denies Tom Lawrence right at the very last. Oh, that could have been disastrous for Burnley. They were winning an 8 going out of the FA Cup in the first hurdle. But now they could win it. And here's Schürrle. He's won it! In the very last minute! Andre Schürrle wins the tie for Burnley. Turfmoor goes absolutely mad. Loftus-Cheek with the assist. Schürrle onside. Sticks it away from Scott Carson. And wins the match for Burnley. We played 90 minutes. Surely there's not much else in this tie left. And Burnley will go through to round 4 of this season's FA Cup. Well, what a way to finish. And they couldn't have left it any later if they tried. Hard luck on Derby, who played their part in a terrific tie, but there will be no more. Burnley just about got through. Go through to round 4. And the winning goal in the last minute came from Andre Schürrle, who's probably the best player on the pitch. Burnley through to round 4. Derby's brave effort today, unfortunately for them, was well and truly in vain. And it's finished here at Turf Moor in the third round of the FA Cup. Burnley 1, Derby County 0. Well, there we are. What a finish. Glorious finish. And these are some of the other ties, as you saw earlier this weekend. Bury 1, Huddersfield 1, Nottingham Forest 0, Barnsley 0. They replay. Walsall 3-3-2 against Wimbledon. Watford knock Arsenal out in the first hurdle. Bournemouth 2, Notts County 0. Bradford 0, Swansea 2. Bristol City 3, Burton 0. As you saw, Burnley 1, Derby 0. Derby County 2, Portsmouth 0, Cheltenham 0, Southampton 2, Crawley 0, Brighton 1. Bit of a derby there, Sussex derby. Everton 2, Brentford 1 at Goodison Park. Fleetwood 0, Manchester United 1, Fulham 2, Aston Villa 1, Gillingham 1, Hull City 3, Leeds United 3, Ipswich 2. So if we wouldn't mind scrolling down, please. Please. We're just waiting for the thing to scroll down. Got some real shocks there. Arsenal going out. That's a shock and a half, that one. Just glad that we've got through, really, to be quite honest with you. Real proper cup side. Here we are. There we are. Leicester 0, Spurs 2. That is another scoreline. Man City 1, West Brom 1. And so a replay at the Hawthorns in that one. Middlesbrough 0, Liverpool 2. Liverpool safely through. The MK Dons 0, Norwich City 3. Newcastle 4, Charlton 0. Oldham 1, Millwall 1. Oxford 2, Birmingham 0. So both Midlands clubs out of the FA Cup. Port Vale 0, Sheffield United 1. Reading 1, Preston 2. Good result there for Preston away at the Majeski Stadium there. Chelsea through, big game for them, big test against Rotherham at the New York Stadium, but Chelsea winning through there by a goal to nil. Sheffield Wednesday beat Luton 3-2 in a looked like a real thriller down at Hillsborough. Sheffield Shrewsbury 2, QPR 0, so no luck in the third round for QPR. And Sunderland 2, Bolton 2. And West Ham 1, Stoke City 1. And I think that may be it. No, one more. I think Wigan 0, Crystal Palace 0. I think that's all the scorelines in from the third round of the FA Cup. So some very interesting one. Oh yeah, there's Wolves 3, Mansfield Town 1 as well. And some more transfer news before we end the episode. We're looking at Justin Kluivert here. This is Patrick Kluivert's son, young son. He's 20 years old on the game. We don't know his overall statistics, but I would guess he's somewhere around about high 70s, maybe 80 rated. Can play on the left wing or the right wing. So bear with that in mind, I think we initially bidded £16.5 million. So we want to sign Kluivert for £16.5 million, and they wanted 22.7, I think, or 22.9 as it happens. And we looked at the pros and the cons, and we decided, well, we'll accept it because we want him in there, a bit of youth to add to the experience of Shearer, and we felt that was good. So we did that, and then we had to go to the other cutscene where we had to do the contract negotiations. And of course, we know how difficult players and agents can be. So we get Justin Kluivert in, and we decide to give him we gave him important, so he's going to get regular first team football. It was like, well, that works for me, 5-year deal, although we're not going to continue the career mode on here any longer than the end of the season. It's still a great one. And then he's offered, I think he wants 38 grand of wages, and thought actually that's quite a good deal. So we got that in, and it was a marvellous thing. And then we go after this young man, a very good player called Emmanuel Dennis. Club Brugge is the team we're buying from, and we tried to do a swap deal with them here, and we decided to try and we wanted to look at getting rid of Mr. Dembele, and so we get Mr. Dembele, but he wants a right back. So we looked at him and we said, oh, okay, you can have Trent Alexander-Arnold if you like. I think we offered him Trent Alexander-Arnold, and we did. So we got him on part exchange, and we're absolutely happy with that. So we'll let you know whether Emmanuel Dennis actually signed or not afterward in the next episode. So we'll see if he agreed to the contract. But what we can offer you is some cup tie action against Manchester City in the League Cup semi, and then it's Crystal Palace as well at home. So two important games coming up in the next episode. I hope you can join me for that next episode. But for me, JB, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll see you for that next episode where we play City in the first leg of the League Cup and Palace in the Premier League. Till then, take care. Bye.